Hi, I'm Byron Stone. This is my final presentation for MDS 400 at Boise State University. My project is on helping the homeless. There's a community need to find more efficient ways to help the homeless families find a future off the streets. There's a need for funding to help the homeless population in Boise. Creative use of resources can help stretch money and aid more families. There have been plenty of local stories in the news with the homeless population in Boise, from them camping downtown, which is against the law in Boise, to a recent murder, which is illegal everywhere. The problem with helping the homeless and funding is it is really hard to get accurate statistics and counts of the population unless they use the services such as homeless shelters or community centers where they document these people. Nationally, there are 2 to 3 million homeless every year, according to the Secretary of the United States Department of Health and Human Services, Tommy Thompson. Ada County estimates that there were 694 homeless in 2013, according to the Boise Homeless Coalition. There can be many factors that contribute to homelessness, including but not limited to mental illness and drug addiction, which the combination is a large part of the people who are homeless repetitively. Poor wages and poverty also play into this as a key. Most people don't make enough money and are almost one paycheck away from being homeless. In 2009, I became homeless due to making some poor choices. I was homeless from August until around Thanksgiving. This was a point that changed my life in many ways, and I learned to take a different approach at life. I never used any services available, um, such as shelters or anything. I had my car to sleep in. I was going to school and still working two jobs, but I wasn't making enough to save any money to get into a place. Um, and I was not aware of the services that were available, many of which I just found out during this project. Of a local woman that's homeless. This was a story out of the Idaho Statesman. Um, Karen Shea, who has been recently homeless for 2 years, looks over her stuffed bear and she keeps among her belongings. Her statement was why I use this picture. It has been an interesting experience being homeless. I don't, or excuse me, I dare anyone to do this for 2 weeks. You will understand a lot more about being homeless. You will have a perspective that will change for the rest of your life. And I agree with that statement because being there, you don't know how critical things can become. Your outlook definitely changes. You lose track of time. Uh, it's hard to find work when you don't have an address. I did my service learning project with Catch, which is what spawned this. Catch means Community Assistance to Communities Homeless. I worked for Catch of Ada County, working with their people on a donation drive and helping them find other resources, from calling people and asking if they would donate items to Catch and helping them find ways, working with their crew to be more efficient in loading and unloading them, which is my area of expertise. Um, their donation drives are very critical to their success because they are nonprofit. They must match all grants that are given to them. If the example was is they were given an $800,000 grant, they have to match that 800,000 with $800,000 in donations also of some kind. So it is really critical for these people to be able to help the homeless that they are properly funded. What I learned part of this was that, again, they need help matching donations and raising funds to help these people off the street. Homelessness is a multiple aspect deal. You can't just say, here's some money, go get a home. You have to work with these people to get them and change their behaviors. Um, if the mental illness is a factor, that also needs to be taken into consideration. Um, the most common, again, is mental illness and drug addiction. According to Craig Hepworth with Catch, awareness is the biggest tool that can help combat homelessness, and it's the only tool. Society wants to act like it doesn't happen, but it happens more often than we think and are willing to deal with it. Though the Boise community is very generous with their donation efforts, we'll have to find more efficient ways to help the homeless. Um, Here's some statistics that I tried to find Idaho versus the national statistics, which is really hard because the statistics are very limited nationally, not and then it's even worse in Boise. The only documentation, as I stated earlier, is what they get from people who check into a homeless shelter or whatever. They document those people, but that's the only way it's kept track of. Um, there were 694 homeless in Ada County and over 1,700 in Idaho. In 2013, the need for sheltered beds was at 83% for the year, so it's not just something that happens during the winter. It happens throughout the year. The summer months are just as critical as the winter. 12% of the homeless in Idaho were chronically homeless. There is a great need in the summer for shelters nationally, and this is according to an AHR study over a course of a year from October 2009 to September of 2010, and this is what they found. 1,593,150 individuals experienced homelessness nationally. Mental illness and substance abuse were again the greatest causes. Data from the research conducted in 5 years indicates that 6 and 7, um, I'm not sure where they went with that. I didn't have a chance to look into those statistics. 30% of the people who are chronically homeless also have mental health conditions. 50% have co occurring, which means they have mental health issues as well as substance abuse programs. Um, 60% of the people who are chronically homeless have experienced a lifetime of mental health problems, and 80% of the people have experienced alcohol or drug addiction as part of the problem resulting from their homelessness. A few more notes that I'd like to make on this is the fact that these companies and organizations work to get these people off the streets, and it's a complex deal where you've got to address the mental illness and help these people become stable so that they can learn these new ways and become better educated through programming, not just giving them shelter or something to help fix the problem, but you have to get them to buy in on it. As part of my research paper, I did find that Obamacare, or the Healthcare Reform Act of, I want to say 2010, is wanting to address the whole situation with homeless people and health in general, including mental health illness and drug addiction, will be funded under these. This may be a great tool to help combat homelessness if we can get the people balanced and under medication and not have to worry about their health so much. I think this would be more effective also. I started out looking for ways to fund these companies such as Catch and help them find more money for it. There is a great deal of money and resources, but until there is a way to keep accurate statistics for the homeless, I don't think it would be an effective run. Thank you, and that has been my presentation on helping the homeless.